about changing locations and shit. Man, get into this motherfucking bag. Stand up the way, I made. Sacrificing time for this shit, man, I got a plan. Tried to tell niggas years ago, they ain't understand. Riding by myself and it's cool, I'm all in my head. Everything in life you can't replace, I build relationships. Pretty little smile make a nigga wanna lock it in. We met the same time I lost a friend, we should try again. You been on my mind, you should hop in. I ain't gon' hurt you, baby girl, you know we locked in. Used to be on FaceTime calls on the regular. Never made time, landed on my busy schedule. Now every time I hit the bay, you know I think of you. Working on your brand, love, you know that.
Yeah, it's goddess. And I'm a day one type of girl. Ain't nothing wishy-washy over here. I don't jump around, stick to one side. Yeah, the silver, the blue, we got them in their feelings. That star on the field, come pay the D a visit. They say it's hatred, is it? I call it hate and simping. Cause if we wasn't that hating, they wouldn't be in our business. Listen, West Coast say the water tastes better. The fan base go harder, and all the ladies get wetter. Yeah, that's how it is when you straight reppin' for Dallas. We get it in the trap, and landlord tell us what's happening. No explanations in no shape, form, or fashion. When Henny drop the stats, ain't nothing else to be asking. Them numbers don't lie, that's why your argument dry. And we still got them rings, you got your eyes on our prize. Whether an eagle, a giant, or a commando, you in the parking lot crying, we in the Lambo. We stay in our bag, we run it up in the draft. You still talking about the 90s, so who's stuck in the past? Get off me, and I'ma need you 6 feet back. And we ain't hearing nothing till your team beat that. And we ain't scared of running, what you thought we bleed that? It's only one team over here, this Cowboys, believe that. Yeah, this you got is the poet. Big up West Coast Cowboy, HTM Sports, and Landlord from Alabama. Y'all check them boys out. Now don't play around with the Cowboys content. Yeah, and you know it's DC. Yeah, DC4L.
31 teams in the NFL. His system is designed to stop 25 teams.
Shit, I need a linebacker that's over 200 pounds. I need a defensive tackle that you got to pull away from the buffet. He's gone, so no.
Let's talk about that.
But yeah, that's a long part. That's a long part of your
I gotta
team.
make this point because I ain't gonna lie, I forgot about it until you mentioned it. So I gotta get this out before it flees me, and the nation needs to hear this.
What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Hennythemoor reporting live from the liquor store, man. How's everybody doing today? Hey, happy 1st of the month. Happy early 4th of July. And man, these damn Dallas Cowboys. If it ain't one thing, it's another. We ain't never gonna have no quiet off season so where everybody can focus on actually getting better and playing football. Always drama, always headlines, always controversy. So we're gonna talk about all of it, man. We're gonna talk about the alleged Ceedee Lamb rumors of him possibly holding out the entirety of training camp and possibly requesting a trade if he doesn't get a certain amount of money. We're going to talk about the Micah Parsons and Malik Hooker fiasco and everything else under the sun, man. It's Monday. We already know it's a long drag. Nobody wanted to take their ass to work. Everybody bought. So y'all know it's well overdue for a liquor store run, man. So just tap in with your boy and we're going to get drunk on this Dallas Cowboys content together, man. And hey, salute to everybody already in the chat box, man. I see my boy JV B-Boy in the building with the shot glasses. My brother Mafia Betts in the building. King G in the building. John Cofield in the building, man. Salute to y'all. And hey, y'all know the usual rules and regulations when you tap in with your independent content creators, man. First and foremost, when y'all slide into the liquor store, the first thing I need y'all to do is hit that like button, man. The more likes that we get on these videos, the more that it helps out with the algorithm, right? More likes, the more people see the video. So you got love for your boy Henny. You want to see the liquor store continue to strive, continue to do good things, man. Hit that like button. It goes a very long way in helping your boy out. And then right after you hit that like button, and listen, I know it's a bunch of steps. I'm very demanding, right? I ask y'all to do a lot when y'all tap in with me, but this is my apologies. I want y'all to look me dead in the eye when I apologize. But it does go a long way. So after y'all hit that like button, I need y'all to turn right back around and hit that share button, man. Because first and foremost, somebody, mama, auntie, grandmama, third cousin, first cousin, done told you that sharing was caring. And you also know that we believe in manifestation inside the liquor store. We're trying to manifest that 6th championship for the Dallas Cowboys in 2024. So be like my boy Space Ricky and drop those 6 emojis in the chat box and share the content 6 times. My boy dropped 6 spaceships, so he helped us with the manifestation. Hey, also shout out to Numbhead Neil in the building, man. My boy said, what up, Henny? Slapped up the Joneses 28 times apiece for each season. We haven't won the Super Bowl since the last one because of the nonsense they're doing this. Hey, when you're right, man. But salute to my boy Numbhead Neil doing the Lord's work by slapping the shit out the Joneses. And also, man, while we slapping folks, man, let's go ahead and slap the dog shit out of those Eagles fans out there, man. If you're able to track down one of those shit eaters and lay your hands across their face, I will be able to give you half off on all the merchandise inside the liquor store. And you know, we got exactly what you need to succeed over here, man. We got Calvaritas, we got gin, we got hen, and everything else under the sun that can make you sin. So tap in with your boy, Hennythemoor, and come get drunk in the liquor store. Yeah, that's my brother Antonio in the building, man. My boy T Smooth. Listen, man, you done had like 17s. I'm gonna let you make it because you my brother. But you done had like 17s, man. It's all good though, man. You want to jump on that bandwagon, be down with the Eagles, so we can smack them up like 3-4 times a year. That's all good, man. Hey, shout out to my boy Mafia Bets for the $10 super chat, man. He said, I'm gonna get backlash, but oh well. I say trade Lamb and Parsons. I'm a fan of both, but they bad for the locker room. Parsons and his drama, and I haven't trusted Lamb since his mom made those comments. Mafia Bet with a damn me ultra hot take. That mug is hot as lava. And hey, Mafia, that $10 super chat got you 2 raffle entries. Today is the very last day for people to get raffle entries in for the Dallas Cowboy jersey. All right, I ain't gonna accept any after today. So if y'all want your final opportunity to win a Dallas Cowboy jersey, super chat, Cash App, $5 a raffle entry, and they're gonna get you in. Then we'll do the drawing this week. So salute to Mafia Bet, but that's a super hot take. But we're gonna talk about it, man. We're gonna talk about locker room drama, turmoil. See, I seen that. That's a rumor out there. So where do y'all want to start, really? We got plenty of controversy to cover. Do you want to start with Ceedee Lamb, or do you want to start with Micah Parsons? We're gonna have to talk about both anyway. So y'all want to start with this Micah Parsons nonsense, or do y'all want to start with the Ceedee Lamb craziness? Like I said, man, we never have peaceful off seasons. Never. Says Ceedee trying to lead. Brian said, where are the Joneses? Haven't heard a peep out of them lately. Hopefully they out there working on contracts. You know, you got 31 free agents next year. Your quarterback needs a contract. Your all-pro wide receiver. Your best pass rusher. Everybody and their mama basically needs a contract. My Mafia Bet, since you are, we're gonna start with Ceedee Lamb then. Let's go ahead and start with Ceedee Lamb. So let's start with the first rumor on Ceedee Lamb, because this is a 2-part thing. He said English or Spanish. I only speak English. I don't know much Spanish at all, even though I do live in Texas. You know, I know hola, como estás, muy bien. I don't know much Spanish. So it's going to be English, Cole. It's going to be English. Oh, yeah. Cole is snorting powder at this point. Yeah, somebody go ahead and shoot Colton in the head, because we don't even play those reindeer games like that, man. Yeah, go ahead and shoot Colton. I got shooters in the building. You come in here playing, do that dick pulling shit, you will get shot in the head, but we don't tolerate that fuckery in the liquor store. So go ahead and just go and shoot that boy Colton in the head if you a mod. Go ahead, headshot that boy, take him out the game. Bye-bye. All right, my boy Marcus. All right, let's go ahead and start with Ceedee Lamb, though. I got distracted talking to the trolls. We gotta keep them boys underneath the bridge. Said why we didn't draft Jonathan Brooks. I really think he got drafted too high for the Dallas Cowboys. I think that, if I'm not mistaken, he went before we picked in the second round. So that would be my thought process. Cause I never thought he would be worth a first round pick regardless. Right, so he was going to get picked in the first, coming off that injury, and then, if I'm not mistaken, he went well before the Dallas Cowboys drafted. So let's start with the first Ceedee Lamb rumor. So they're saying Ceedee Lamb is expected to hold out the entirety of the team's training camp in July if he does not receive a contract extension before then. And this is from an alleged report from Calvin Watkins, who is he's a Dallas Cowboys insider. Been covering the Dallas Cowboys for years. You can say he's a reputable source. But this is the thing. Ceedee Lamb missing all the training camp means Ceedee Lamb is going to miss out on a ton of money. Right? Because remember, missing voluntary workouts is fine because it says so in the name. It's voluntary. Right? So him not showing up to the voluntary work that they did earlier in the summer, that's cool. Oxnard is mandatory. So when you meet mandatory activities, the team is going to fine you. You're going to lose money, and that's how that plays out right there. So the question is, do you think Ceedee Lamb will be willing to lose money in order to get a contract? Now, to be quite frank, we've seen it happen before. We've seen Zach Martin hold out during training camp. We've seen Ezekiel Elliott hold out during training camp, right? And eventually, they forced the Joneses' hands, held their feet to the fire, and they got a contract done. Because I don't think people remember this, but pretty much everybody in Dallas has had to hold out at one point or another to get the contract that they deserved or the contract that they felt they had earned up to that point, right? So Ceedee Lamb, hey, we're going by history, and we're talking about his veterans. He played with Ceedee Lamb. Ceedee Lamb played with Ezekiel Elliott, right? So if he got any tidbits or any advice from him, Zeke probably told him to hold out. He been playing with Zach Martin for years, right? No, the minicamp was not mandatory. Minicamp was not mandatory at all. So he did not get fined. Minicamp was not mandatory. All the minicamps and all the things that have happened up to this point have all been voluntary. So listen, you would have wanted him to be there, right? You would have wanted him to be there, but matter of fact, I take that back. There was a mandatory camp that he did miss. I think the last week was mandatory. He didn't show. It was up to the team to levy out fines, though, at that point. Also, releasing Dak does nothing for the Dallas Cowboys because his contract is guaranteed. The remainder of Dak Prescott's contract is guaranteed. You save no money by cutting Dak Prescott at this point. And also remember, if you don't give Dak Prescott a contract extension, then you're actually going to eat $40 million in dead money next year. You're going to eat $40 million in dead money next year. He didn't mention not a singular stat, though. He said he was an all-pro. That is an award. That is an accomplishment. That's not a stat. But yeah, back to what we were saying about this entire situation. Every single one of this man's veterans have had to hold out at one point or another to get a contract. So if he's getting advice from the guys that he goes to work with guys that already done had contract negotiations with the Joneses, from guys that have already been properly enumerated, they held out, right? And if you believe in that 88 fraternity, if you believe all the old 88s reach back out to the younger guys and give them game, if Ceedee Lamb was talking to Dez Bryant would have told the man to hold out too, because that's what Dez had to do to get his contract. Y'all don't remember the smear campaign they had against Dez? They talk about he done hit his mama and all kinds of other fuckery. even though they claim they had a tape and that tape never actually came out. Blase, this and that. So remember, he's been around guys. He's been in communication with guys that would have told him this is probably the right way to go about it. Because if you hold the front office's feet to the fire, they will fold. They're gonna fold like wet laundry, like origami. But I don't know, man. What do y'all think in the chat box? Do y'all think Ceedee Lamb will actually hold out? Will you believe Ceedee Lamb will actually hold out? That's what I want to know. They said I was living in Dallas during that time. Yeah. Like they tried to slander Dez Bryant's character. Matter of fact, I'll speak about Zach Martin. Zach Martin had to hold out twice. Like we think about what happened recently. He also had to hold out for the first time around. Zach Martin is a guy that had to hold out twice to get the money he wanted. Hey, JC Cowboy, what's up with you, man? Hey, y'all make sure to show my boy some love, man. Make sure you go to the page and sub to him. Make sure you give his videos a look at, man. Always coming with some good information. Yeah, listen. Every single one of these players should be all in, because regardless what the cap is, the Dallas Cowboys created their own cap problems. The Dallas Cowboys restructured Dak Prescott contract 3 times. They restructured his contract 3 times. They restructured, all these other guys multiple times. Ceedee Lamb, they waited to give him a contract, so the prices has went up. They waited to give Dak Prescott a contract. Like, all the cap issues the Dallas Cowboys have are self-inflicted. So you really shouldn't be mad at any single person, right? You shouldn't be mad at any singular one of these players for trying to hold out, because it's not their problem. The Dallas Cowboys knew when they restructured Dak Prescott all those times they would have to pay that money eventually. They knew by waiting to sign Dak and to sign CD, the market would increase, right? So that's my thing. Like, I'm not giving the front office a pass. They created this situation. So why would the players then turn around and save them from mistakes that they made? Ceedee Lamb didn't tell you to wait. Dak Prescott didn't tell you to wait. Nobody told them to wait. They made those mistakes. They got to live with them. Because listen, last time I checked, the Philadelphia Eagles done signed their quarterback, done signed their tight end, done signed their offensive lineman. They done signed their two wide receivers. Like, they done signed everybody and their mama, and we sitting here ain't signed a soul. Remember, they're working with the same cap that everybody else working with, but they signing their star players. They're signing their most important players. Ain't no hassling, ain't no negotiating in the media, ain't nobody holding out, ain't nobody throwing people under the bus. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, the Dallas Cowboys are not doing things correctly when it comes to team building. Because how the hell you get to the point you got 31 free agents, man? You got 31 free agents next year. Does that sound like good team building to anybody? You can't say that it is, man. You just can't say that it is. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and put this in the chat box because I'm curious. I need a poll. I need a poll up real quick before we move on to the next topic, because I'm trying to see what's on y'all mind right now, man. Hold on. Will Ceedee Lamb hold out? Yep, 24 unrestricted. You got sit, and then you gotta think about it too. We got 31 guys that will be free agents, and then you got multiple guys who will become eligible for contract extensions. Jake Ferguson will be eligible for a contract extension next year. Tyler Smith will be eligible for a contract extension next year. Deron Bland will be eligible for a contract extension next year. And those are marquee players on your roster. Those are marquee players on your roster. Like that is inexcusable that you have all these great players all coming up to get paid at one time, and you ain't got no contingencies plans. You ain't got none of the major contracts out the way to give yourself a clearer picture of what you're working with. Like they haven't done anything that is remotely close to good team building. We're being honest. He said, "Joe JB, I play man." hey, I like that one. You my guy though, man. I fool with that response. All right, so let's talk about the next Ceedee Lamb rumor. Cause we got some people talking about Ceedee Lamb is possibly finna be traded. Now I don't know the validity of this shit, but we still finna take a look at it. All right. So does everybody see? Hold on, let me take this down. Cause I shared the screen, but y'all can't see it because I got this up. And then let me. Damn, it's hard for me to get this shit on the screen, so I'm just gonna read it to you. So allegedly, Ceedee Lamb will be requesting a trade if the Dallas Cowboys do not offer him a new contract worth at least $32 million per year. He wants to be at least the second highest paid wide receiver in the National Football League. This is from Ricky, who was a alleged NFL insider. I don't know the man. I don't know the validity of who he is. I don't know if this is a troll account, but people have been running with it. And that's why I want to say this is some old bullshit. Right? Because who is this man to be making these kind of claims? What kind of connection does he have to the Dallas Cowboys or to Ceedee Lamb's camp to say any of this is true? Like, what kind of ties did he have to the Dallas Cowboys or to Ceedee Lamb to say that he wouldn't be here? Right? This man wouldn't know shit about Ceedee Lamb. So that's why I call bullshit on this one. Now, the rumor coming from Calvin Watkins, he is a legitimate source. A random Twitter profile saying that Ceedee Lamb will get traded. That's clickbait. That's engagement farming. You name drop a Dallas Cowboy that's going through a contract dispute. You halfway got. Yeah, no, we ain't talk. No, he's not no real person. Hold on, NFL Mafia Bet says nah, he's real. He gets everything right. I ain't never heard of him before. I ain't never heard of this man before. He said the People's NFL Insider beat writers hate him. I don't know this dude. All right, I got a second person chiming in saying he has been right on a lot of contracts this summer. But this is the thing though. Ceedee Lamb was supposed to get more than $32 million any goddamn way. Like, he was supposed to get more than $32 million any damn way because he's Ceedee fucking Lamb. He was an all-pro wide receiver, first team. Like, if Christian McCaffrey wasn't Christian McCaffrey, Ceedee Lamb would have outright won Offensive Player of the Year. Right? Like, Ceedee Lamb, after making back-to-back all-pro selections, was going to make over $32 million anyway. You know what I mean? Now, the tidbit about requesting a trade if he doesn't get it, that's information nobody has spoken on or said. Right? So I don't know. But a lot of y'all are saying that this is a legit account that he's been hitting that he's somewhat of a credible source. I ain't never heard of the man before. But now that y'all done gave me some inside scoop, I'm gonna keep track of this profile. Then. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and follow this shit. Listen, if he's right about this one, then I'm gonna start using him as a source. All right, and I rock with Dak Attack. So shout out to the Dak Attack. He said per Dak Attack, he has been right on a few contracts this year. Okay. Well, listen, if they got some validity to it, we'll see. Night Owl said he can still be guessing. You never know. I said I'm gonna take the wait and see approach to that one. So first and foremost, let me take a look at where we're sitting at on the poll so far. Let me see what this poll's sitting at. All right, so far, and hey, y'all make sure y'all vote on the poll, man. It's over 70 folks watching on the YouTube channel, and there's only 30 votes. So y'all make sure y'all go and hit that vote on if y'all think that Ceedee Lamb will hold out. But right now, 77% of y'all believe that Ceedee Lamb is going to hold out the entirety of training camp if he don't get his contract. I'm pretty sure Nuri is an Eagles fan. Pretty sure. I could be wrong, but you know. All right, so now that we talked about the two Ceedee Lamb rumors, let's go ahead and combine them into one talking point. Do you think that it's even? Oh, then, hey, we ain't got nothing to talk about. Said O-line, do you think Cooper BB the missing piece? I think Cooper BB is one of the missing pieces because I think Cooper BB is an automatic upgrade to the interior of your offensive line. He was one of the highest graded offensive linemen in the entirety of the draft. So yes, I think that he makes a world of a difference because I think day one he'll probably be a better center than Tyler Biadasz. And that's high praise for a rookie. That's high praise for a rookie that has not played the position in live game action at the collegiate level, to my understanding. But he is a force in the middle. He's very smart, physically imposing. I think that he'll pay dividends damn near immediately. I expect for there to be some, growing pains going from college to the NFL, but I think he'll be fine. So let's move along, man. Let's talk about the next one. Let's talk about the next talking point out here, man. A little bit of infighting in Dallas Cowboys country, man. There's been a little bit of infighting. Micah Parsons, Malik Hooker, they did not like shit. Hey, Micah Parsons did not like shit that Malik Hooker had to say when he went on Chris Carter's podcast. And hey, we're gonna talk about it. So this is a small clip. This is about 26 seconds long. I'm finna stop the music and play this small clip so y'all know what's going on. Here you go.
Problem with it. My thing would be though, for Micah, my advice would be for Micah would be, just make sure we're all right, where we're and being where your feet are. Because if we're at work and the run game's terrible, but you're doing a podcast every week and the run game is terrible, then what are you really caring about? Are you caring about the crowd that is watching your podcast? Are you caring about the success of our team and the Super Bowl that we're trying to reach? See what I'm saying? So problem with it. My thing would be though, for Micah, my advice would be for Micah would be, just make sure we're all right, where we're and being where your feet are. Because if we're at work and you know, the run game's terrible, but you're doing a podcast every week and you know the run game is terrible, then, you know, what are you really caring about? Are you caring about the crowd that, you know, is watching your podcast? Are you caring about the success of our team in the Super Bowl that we're trying to reach? See what I'm saying? So I have a problem with him. I think.
And this is the thing I'm going to say. I don't disagree. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the music back on because I think it's a two-part thing that we gotta discuss with the Malik Hooker comments, right? It's a two-part thing that we gotta discuss with the Malik Hooker comments. All right. So first and foremost, I do not disagree with Malik Hooker and what he actually said. Football is the most important thing. If there are things wrong with the defense, you are supposed to be the leader on the defense. You want to be the highest paid defensive player in the league. You're supposed to be, all these things. You have to take care of business first before you can worry about anything. Because whether it's harmless or not, if Micah Parsons doing it in his spare time, it can be perceived in the wrong way, right? If you're faltering on the field, but you're still podcasting. It can rub people the wrong way. It can be perceived the wrong way by other guys in the locker room, right? But this is the thing that I want y'all to also understand about it. Even though I agree with what Malik Hooker said, it's sort of hypocritical on Malik Hooker's part because you are actively calling out your teammate on a podcast. Do you not think that would be detrimental to the team, the chemistry, right? It's sort of like the pot calling the kettle black at this point. You went on a podcast to talk about that man being on a podcast. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I get it. I agree with you, Malik Hooker. And the second thing, you are a player. You work with this man. Hennythemoor can say that shit. I ain't got no ties to the Dallas Cowboys. Like, West Coast Cowboy can say that. Landlord from Alabama can say that. Boss Cowboy can say that. Malik, you are his teammate. That's probably a conversation you should have had with him off the air. You probably should have never went on the podcast and said that. Also, shout out to Mafia Best for the $5 super chat. He said Parsons took that completely out of context. He went all the way left field with constructive criticism. And that's the dangers of communicating through a podcast. You communicated your dislike of a podcast on a podcast. You know what I'm saying? It's sort of crazy, right? It's sort of crazy. And remember, just because you're asked a question on a podcast does not mean you have to answer it truthfully or answer it at all. Because guess what? I want y'all to remember this about the players. All of the players receive media training. So they know not to get up on the camera and make a damn fool of themselves. Or to say things that they got to walk back or put their feet in their mouth. They receive media training because they always talk to the media and have to know how to properly answer questions without getting canceled or making the team look crazy. They all receive media training. Either Malik Hooker forgot his media training or he got comfortable talking to a former player and a former Dallas Cowboy and forgot that he was, this could be used against him, or he had intentions of getting a point across. Right? It's three things. It's one of three things. Like either you forgot your media training, and listen, that's possible. You training something, you don't work on it, you get rusty. You got comfortable being around a familiar face and got too lax with your tongue, or you try to send a message. And that's the issue when you talk through the media. Because now it's open to interpretation from guys like me. Right? It's open to interpretation from guys like me. It's open to interpretation from guys on First Take. It's open to interpretation now from all media outlets. Because nobody knows your intentions by saying this. It could have really been constructive criticism. It could have been hating. It could have been any of these things. You know what I'm saying? You don't really know what the hell his intentions was. And because you don't really know, shit, you can copy and paste your feelings on it. You know what I mean? So yeah, like I think you shouldn't have said what you said. Cause listen, I actually agreed with that tidbit, man. If things are going wrong, like Micah, I know you're a great podcaster, right? You're a great podcaster. Your podcast is growing. You know what I'm saying? Like you're making moves out there, man. You're the president of what the hell they call? You know, you're a president of a company. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, man, like you would not have that platform if you weren't Micah freaking Parsons. You're Micah Parsons because you sacked the quarterback and you play good football. So what he said about, you know, putting most important shit first, he didn't lie. But you all, thank you. He was CEO. I appreciate that. So he did not lie when he said that. What I really had more issue with is when he actually answered the question about contracts. He said, thank you for Amari Cooper at a cheap price. You are not welcome. You are not welcome at all. Because I still wish Amari Cooper was on this team, man. I still wish Amari Cooper was on this team, man. Hurts my heart every day knowing that man is a damn Brown. And we need wide receiver help to this day. So yeah, nah, you was not welcome, my boy. You was not welcome. Yeah, thank you, Abe. As a player, part of a team, there shouldn't be any criticism, at least on a podcast. You know, like you can call another player out in the locker room. You got this man's phone number. If you got something on your chest, you could have called and cussed this man out, and y'all could have kept that between yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all could have, like there are other avenues to go about getting the point across to Micah Parsons about his podcast. But I also think that he just, you know, he let it slip up. I think that he got put in a precarious situation, did not realize the gravity of what he said at the time. Like, I don't think he had any idea that his comments or his words would blow up like this. But let's keep it real. Nobody was checking for Chris Carter's, Keyshawn Johnson. It was Keyshawn. It was Keyshawn Johnson's podcast. Nobody was checking for Keyshawn's podcast like that, man. I ain't know the man had a goddamn podcast before I seen this debauchery pop up on my timeline. So I don't even think that Malik Hooker thought that his comments would be this inflammatory. You know, this guy caught with his pants down, basically talking too loose. So I don't know, man. But we also seen where Micah Parsons responded, and Micah Parsons was not happy about what was said. Now, it was a tweet in the elite, but you know, everybody got, you know, smartphones, everybody out here screenshotting. So, you know, you put some shit up. Go ahead. So, yeah, so it doesn't matter if you tweet in the elite. Everybody and their mama see the shit. Everybody and their mama know what the hell done went down at this point, man. So this is what Micah Parsons had to say about the situation. He said, just wish you said this to me, but instead on some podcast. And you got my number, family. Malik Hooker, and you my locker mate. So you could have said this any day. And you do realize I shoot the podcast on our off day. Why ain't we talking about everyone preparation? Hold on now. You being a little too messy right there. Why ain't we talking about everyone preparations and focus leading up to the game week? I mean, I can point out a lot of other things, but I'm just, yeah, Mike, you okay. Let me say this, because I feel mixed emotions about this too. Because I recall Micah Parsons calling out DeMarcus Lawrence for his comments about being tired. I remember Stephon Gilmore calling out DeMarcus Lawrence about his comments about being tired. I remember Brandon Cooks calling out DeMarcus Lawrence about his comments about being tired. Right? And I did not see DeMarcus Lawrence react in the same manner you're reacting, Micah Parsons. We can start right there. 2, we're not talking about everybody else's preparation heading up there. You're being messy. This is an exchange between you and Malik Hooker. So put a name on it. Are you talking about Malik Hooker's preparation up to the game? If not, leave any other player that's lollygagging out of it, and you can address them off the platform, like you're saying that you should do with, like Malik Hooker should have did with you, right? So yeah, that's a little slippery slope right there, Michael. Like don't just start throwing people under the bus because you didn't like what Malik Hooker had to say. The same way that you said that Malik Hooker could have called you. You had Anna for Malik Hooker. You could have called him too. This did not have to spiral out of control. Right? This did not have to become something that played out in front of the eyes of the national media. Did I agree with how Malik Hooker did this? No. But at the same token, Micah, you talk about everything under the sun on your podcast as well. You have no room. You have no room to say this. Because, Micah, I know for a fact you made comments that rubbed your teammates the wrong way. You rubbed your teammates the wrong way with some of the things you said on podcasts. Right? Especially when you got on the podcast with Jordan Love and you were up here laughing about, he had made a comment and you laughed. I forget who it pissed off. Was it Jay Lou something? You pissed somebody off. Point being, anytime folks jump on a podcast and they have controversial or non-flattering things to say about a teammate, it does not ever end well, Michael. And you've also been guilty. You've been guilty of doing the same damn thing, bro. I know you got on the podcast and rubbed your teammates the wrong way. So have the same amount of grace that they had with you for Malik Hooker. And I don't think Malik Hooker meant it in that kind of way. You know what I'm saying? I think Malik Hooker just got caught with his pants down. I think Malik Hooker got too lax with his tongue on a podcast. Shout out to Mafia Bets for another $5 super chat, man. He said, I think Parsons will either mature under Zimmer or he will be gone next season. Dog, we need Micah Parsons. So guess what? He has to mature. He has to mature. He has to. And I'm not saying that he's a simple-minded motherfucker or nothing like that. Micah Parsons is a smart guy. Micah Parsons is a responsible guy. You know, he's a father, an active father, a businessman. You know what I'm saying? Like, Micah Parsons isn't foolish. You know, he's just young. You don't know what you don't know until you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, hell, he's in a lot better shape than I was at his age from maturity level. I was doing some wild shit out here. But point being, like, it takes time. I'm sure that Micah Parsons will continue to grow as a person and as a player in the league. I just hope that we don't keep causing distractions that aren't warranted. Like, this did not have to play out the way that it did. There were, in my opinion, there were faults on both sides. Because, Micah, you've done the same thing. I don't think you have the room to be mad at Malik Hooker because you put your teammates in similar situations. Malik Hooker, you shouldn't have said what you had said in the media, right? I think it's crazy to call out somebody about a podcast while you on a podcast. I don't think you should have ever mentioned the contracts because remember, they asked the man who should get paid first, and he went and he had a whole damn list. He said Ceedee Lamb first, then Dak Prescott, and then Micah Parsons needs to wait. Like, calm the fuck down, my boy. Like, you're doing a little bit too much right there, man. You never talk about another man's money on whether they should be paid or when they should be paid. That's not your call unless you're paying them. If he was your employee, that's your call. But this man go out there and bleed and work just like you do. If they feel like it's time to pay him, it'll be his time to get paid. We don't have to discuss that. We ain't got to discuss if Ceedee Lamb should get paid first. We ain't got to discuss if Dak Prescott should get paid first. We ain't got to discuss if Micah Parsons should get paid first. Because really all you have to say is all of them deserve their money and they'll get it and they'll get it when the time is right. That's all you had to say. You gave a detailed list and breakdown about who the hell you thought should have been paid, and you don't do that. And you don't do that as a player. You don't do that to your teammates. You don't discuss their money. Like that's one of the first things your daddy. You know what? Never mind. I ain't trying to talk crazy or nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Like a lot of us as men, our fathers told us to never concern yourself with another man's money. When they get paid, how they get paid, how much they get paid, that ain't none of your business. Keep your eyes on your own paper like in school, man. Said Lawrence and yeah. Like you keep calling. And that's the thing. Micah don't really have grounds to get upset. You've done the same thing, my boy. You've done the same thing. So that's where I'm at with it. Should Malik have said what he said? Of course not. Micah, you've done the same thing. And that's probably one of the reasons why he even felt like answering the podcast question. It's probably done rubbed a bunch of people the wrong way already. You know, they try to keep the peace. They probably do like you as a person. They probably do got a lot of love for you. So they not trying to make a issue. You know, they ain't trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. But you know. Todd Cowboys, what's up with you? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the platform. I appreciate you for rocking with me. Hey, let's take a quick little like break, man. If you have not hit the like button on the video yet, make sure y'all hit the like button. If you ain't hit the share button on the video yet, man, make sure y'all hit the share button. If you ain't slapped the dog shit out of an Eagles fan yet, man, make sure y'all do that. And if you want the final opportunity to win a Dallas Cowboy jersey, hit that Cash App or hit that Super Chat, man. $5 a raffle entry. This is the last day to enter to win a Dallas Cowboy jersey of your choice. All right, Space Ricky said, why didn't the boys go after a young running back? How can you not give a new contract to your best players? Tank time. This the thing. Even with the Dallas Cowboys playing it the way that they're playing it, they're not going to be in position to tank. Dak Prescott has never had a losing season as a starting quarterback. You're still gonna be returning an all-pro wide receiver. You're still gonna be returning a Pro Bowl tight end. You still got multiple good pieces on the offensive line. You still got a good defense. I don't think they're great like I originally thought, but you still got a good defense. That combination, and then you got a favorable schedule still. They're going to win double-digit games. Even with the way that they're playing it, they're not going to be bad enough to actually tank and get good enough draft capital. Think about it. The team with the top pick last year only won 2 damn games. The teams in the top won like 5 games. Dallas Cowboys going to win 9 games. That's the floor. 9 games is probably the floor, and that's people getting hurt and shit. They still gonna probably win 9 games. This team might win 12, 13, 14 games in the regular season. So I don't even understand the strategy. You're not gonna be bad enough to draft and get draft capital. You can't tank for Shador when you're winning double-digit games, and he's probably gonna be a top 5 pick. You can't tank for none of these top quarterbacks because you're probably going to still have a very good record. Probably still going to be a playoff team. You might win a playoff game. So even with as horrible as they've managed the contracts, and they butchered this. They butchered all these contract negotiations. They're not in position to tank. They're just not in position to realistically tank. It doesn't make sense. How many number ones can they get for Dak and Ceedee? I don't know. Because they're both on 1-year deals. And remember, like, it's more logical for them to trade for Ceedee Lamb than Dak Prescott, because all they got to do is wait. Dak Prescott has a no trade clause, and he'll be an unrestricted free agent next year. So instead of giving up assets to get Dak Prescott, all they got to do is wait a year. They could tank this year, get good draft capital, sign Dak Prescott, and then weapon him up. They can use those top picks to get offensive linemen or wide receivers, or trade those top picks to other teams to get already established stars and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like the Dak Prescott stuff, like nah, like you ain't coming up on moving Dak, because it doesn't make sense for a team to trade for Dak at this point. All they gotta do is wait, give Dak Prescott that max contract next year, and then if they wanted to tank, they could tank, and they could put weapons around Dak Prescott with the assets they get from being bad this year. You know what I mean? So realistically, we're talking from a team building standpoint. It doesn't make sense for a team to trade for Dak Prescott right now. Not because he's not good, it's just because he'll be an unrestricted free agent next year, still in his prime, and they can go out and get him and keep all their assets. Ceedee Lamb is different. The Dallas Cowboys have him this year, and then they can tag him. You know what I'm saying? They have him this year, then they can tag him. So that doesn't make sense. And yeah, I know that they technically can't trade Dak Prescott. He would have to agree to it. They would have to agree to it. And Trey, this is the thing. Even if Ceedee Lamb sits, how bad do you think the Dallas Cowboys will be without him? What's up with you, Nicholas? Thank you for tapping in, man. Will they be bad enough to get a top draft pick, or will they just be an 8 and 9 team? An 8 and 9 team that's still picking at the back end of the draft. Mafia Bets with another $5 super chat. Thank you for the love and support, my brother. He said they're not letting Dak go, and I doubt they let Lamb go either. But we'll see. I know. We'll see. He said with no Lamb and no run game, we probably still win about 8 games. But it could get ugly. You are right. A lot of what I'm saying is hindering on what they can do on the ground. If the run game is still bad and they can at least get some rushing touchdowns, it's going to be hard. And also, this is another thing. The Dallas Cowboys heavily depend on Ceedee Lamb because the other wide receivers don't really win like that. We're being all the way 1,000. Like, we're being all the way 1,000. The other guys don't really win like that. Because remember, they rely on Ceedee Lamb because these other guys don't really win a lot. If you look at the separation numbers, Brandon Cooks is at the bottom. Michael Gallup was at the bottom. That's why his ass out the door, right? And this is a pure progression offense. 1-2, not there. Then you go to 2.3, and that goes to the scramble drill. If you don't win, right, the ball's not going to come to you. So Ceedee Lamb wins. That's why he gets the ball. Jake Ferguson wins. That's why he gets the ball. Right? They create separation. They do their job individually against man coverage. And of course, Jake does his job against his own. He eats zone up. It's at HTM 3000. Get them subs up for the boy Hen. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, if you ain't subbed to the channel yet, man, make sure y'all sub. We up here trying to get to the 3,000 sub mark, man. I appreciate all y'all for the love and support, man. So yeah, it really just depends, dog. And John Doe, I was going to ask you a question. Did Dak choke in 2016? Was he the one that gave up a 3rd and 20 that led to a walk-off field goal? Or did Dak ball and throw 3 touchdowns and put up over 30 points? Was it Dak Prescott's fault in 2018 that they got ran off the field and gave up damn near 300 yards rushing? I mean, like, let's keep it real. Like, we've lost some playoff games where Dak Prescott played well enough to win. Now, there have been some playoff games where Dak did not perform up to his standard. But to call the man a choke artist when there's been playoff games that he showed up and we still lost, that's not really accurate. That's not really accurate. Also, I'm glad that you brought up Cavante Turpin, because I think he needs to be a bigger part of the team. But also, sadly, he is also a free agent next year. He's also a free agent next year. He's an unrestricted free agent. He only signed a 3-year deal when he came over from the UFL. So yeah, he's also a free agent, and we're going to be depending on him to be a bigger part of our offense this year. And we'll probably be having to look for his replacement next year as well. Just like Brandon Cooks is a free agent next year, and we'll probably have to find his heir apparent. And Ceedee Lamb is a free agent next year. We got to figure out how to get a contract done with him. Like, the Dallas Cowboys got too much shit going on at one time, man. They got entirely too much going on at this point in time. Entirely too much. So I don't know, man. But let's spin the block on this Ceedee Lamb debate, because y'all, I think I showed y'all this before. We're gonna air it out again. Because remember, we were talking about how good or bad we would be if Ceedee Lamb held out. So let's say, in a hypothetical make-believe world, Ceedee Lamb just stacked his bread up and he's able to miss the entire season. He like, fuck the Dallas Cowboys, I'm not playing it down. You gotta pay me, right? You gotta pay me. So I ain't coming to work. So using your eyeballs, how many games could the Dallas Cowboys win with this wide receiving core? Brandon Cooks is your number 1. Jalen Tolbert as your number 2. Cavante Turpin as your number 3, or your number 2/3, whatever you want to say, and then Ryan Flournoy and Jalen Brooks rounding out that receiving core. How many games do you think the Dallas Cowboys could win with Brandon Cooks as the number 1 wide receiver and these other guys being the supporting cast? CT said 6. Trey said 5. Sky said none. Turn it down. Hey, y'all hold that down. Hold that thought. Javian, turn it down. All right. I'm back, y'all. My boy Eternal said 4, maybe. Shit. He said, I'm still upset at the Cowboys organization when Tony Pollard got hurt against the Niners in the playoffs and couldn't do shit on the run game when we had an elite running back like Malik Davis. You know what's crazy? They really don't like that, man. They needed another running back to step up, had him active on the roster, and still didn't give that man the damn ball. Do you know how much you dislike a person to basically throw away a football game because you didn't want them to get on the field? Do you know how deep in the doghouse you gotta be to pretty much sabotage a playoff game when you need a run game and you got a healthy running back out there? Yeah, they don't like that, man. And listen, landlord be saying I'm being nefarious when I say that. I'm being 1,000% honest. I'm being 1,000% honest when I say that, man. They doing that man any kind of way. Doing him any kind of damn way. But listen, hey, he can't feel any kind of way about it because he stayed, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's still in Dallas. He ain't go to a different team, sign with a different team or anything to get a better opportunity. So, hey, it is what it is. Well, Todd, we already know the Dallas Cowboys only have one path to victory. They got to play with a lead. They got to force teams to be one-dimensional, force them into passing situations. That's how they been a good defense up to this point, right? They get up on teams. It gets a little bit harder to run the football when the opposing offense is scoring points. Now you're trying to keep up in a track meet. Now you're letting Micah Parsons get off on the quarterback. You're letting Sam and them get off. You know what I'm saying? So we haven't ever really fixed our inability to stop the run. We get teams down where they don't want to run the ball, but when they do decide, we haven't really stopped them. Haven't really stopped them at all. So until we get better at the defensive tackle position, I gotta wait and see what the linebacker position is going to do. But until we get better at the defensive tackle position, I do not expect the Dallas Cowboys to be able to stop the run. And this year, we got a defensive tackle coming off of shoulder surgery. We got a 7th-round pick. We got a journeyman defensive tackle. Osa's good, but Osa's a 3-tech. It's not his primary duty to stop the run like that. So, what makes me think the Dallas Cowboys will be able to stop the run this year? Honestly, you lost your best run defender when you let Jonathan Hankins walk. So why would I feel more confident in a run defense without Jonathan Hankins going into the year? Just because the year different, we supposed to be able to stop the run now? Just because the year is different? Come on now. Shout out to Mafia Bets for another $5 super. He said, bottom line is drama makes Cowboys richer. I agree on that. All 3 big names will be signed. It's all for attention, which money in the Jones pockets. I mean, hell, up to this point, I have no reason to not believe that, because if we're being honest, they've run the same play every other offseason and the shit doesn't work. Outside of Dak Prescott getting franchise tagged back in the 2019 offseason, before the 2020 season, everybody got paid. Everybody. Dez Bryant, even with all the slander, got paid. Zach Martin still got paid. Ezekiel Elliott, they will talk about Zeke who, and still found a way to sign Ezekiel Elliott's name on a check, didn't they? Talk about Zeke who, and then we'll turn around and made that man the highest paid running back in the National Football League. So, hey, everybody gets paid. So you are right. I believe it will be worked out. It's just really concerning when you keep pulling the same play out your ass. I know it works for them, right? They're getting the attention they want. They're getting the clicks, the views. The Dallas Cowboys name. The Dallas Cowboys name is circulating in the media on a daily basis at this point because of all the contract discontent going on in Big D. So you might be on to something. But at the same time, it's still concerning until folks' names get signed on the dotted line. I'm still concerned about it until they figure it out. Still concerned until they figured it out. Now, do I think that it eventually will get resolved? Of course. Because history says so. But it's never a fun process to go through. It's never a fun process to go through. CT, that is funny. And listen, can I point some stuff out? I know when the season starts, we tend to forget about all the issues that we have as a football team. So let me remind y'all of the fuckery Dallas Cowboys got going on right now. The Dallas Cowboys are going running back by committee, and they have one of the worst running back rooms in the National Football League. Right? I'm gonna say it again. The Dallas Cowboys are going running back by committee, and they currently have one of the worst running back rooms in the entire league. The Dallas Cowboys still do not have a solid answer for the run. So right now, any running back with a post is a threat to the Dallas Cowboys. We still have questions at linebacker, even though I think it might be slightly improved with Eric Kendricks. And we probably got worse at defensive tackle. Because remember, Jonathan Hankins was your best defensive tackle. You still lack wide receiver depth behind Ceedee Lamb. And you got multiple new starters on your offensive line. You're trying to replace a first ballot Hall of Famer in Tyron Smith. You're replacing your Pro Bowl center, even though I think he struggled. I think he was an overachiever. And then Terrence Steele, you don't know how healthy he'll be. So you got all those things going on with your team. But the moment that the opening kickoff start and the Dallas Cowboys take the field against the Cleveland Browns, y'all gonna forget about all that shit. You just gonna expect the Dallas Cowboys to magically win Super Bowls and shit, and win playoff games. Your running game sucks. Your run defense sucks. Your offensive line is a question mark, and your wide receiver depth is not worth a damn quarter. But you still gonna go out there and expect the Dallas Cowboys to succeed and win a title, right? You still expect them to be successful, right? All that shit, all those problems, no answers. You're just gonna expect them to flip a switch and to just overcome all the bullshit, right? I just want y'all to remember all these flaws before the season starts. That's all I ask y'all. 32nd ranked running back room. Middle of the pack run defense. Last year, your defense gave up almost 30 points a game to winning teams. I don't know how the hell that gets better, because you didn't make your team better. So I don't know. But hey, man, fan is short for fanatic. Like y'all expect some wild shit to happen. So hey, I don't know. Oh yeah, listen, and this the kicker. The Dallas Cowboys will do just enough in the regular season to survive. They'll win double-digit games. They'll make it to the playoffs. They might even win the division and break the curse. But the Dallas Cowboys, when they go up against the better teams, especially in a playoff setting, where those issues going to come right back out. Ceedee Lamb going to get double covered, and the other wide receivers won't get open. Teams going to run the ball directly at the Dallas Cowboys and neutralize that pass rush because you ain't got better against the run game. Dak Prescott and the offense will be one-dimensional because they probably won't be able to run the football. It's going to probably be a copy and paste of what happened in the last playoff loss, right? Unless they play a team that's already one-dimensional and they can't run the ball themselves, I don't see how the Dallas Cowboys are supposed to go far in the postseason. Like the Dallas Cowboys are going to have to play They're going to have to play teams that ain't got no good running backs or no good run games in order to win. You can't play the 49ers. You can't play the Packers. You're going to have to play a team like the fucking who's a team that can't really run the football like that in the NFC? I don't know. I don't know who the hell the Dallas Cowboys will play in the postseason. But shout out to Mafia Bets for the $5 super. He said, how ironic is it that our main issue on offense is also our main issue on defense, the run game? Yeah, they mirror each other nicely, man. They definitely mirror each other. Because I don't understand why the hell the Dallas Cowboys... I don't know, man. I don't know. I just feel this shit is wild, man. How do we realistically expect to win football games when you can't run the ball or stop the run? Like that shit is basic football. And listen, regular season, you got all these advanced metrics, that's fine. Postseason, you gotta run the fucking ball. You gotta give your quarterback some support. You got to widen the margin of error, right? Like for real. You gotta run the ball you got to run the ball in postseason. And listen, if we're just talking about what the Dallas Cowboys have been unable to do, stopping the run and not being able to run the football is why we struggled. Dallas Cowboys have not had a 100-yard rusher in a playoff game since 2018 against the Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson was still there. Dallas Cowboys have given up over. You think about run defense. Aaron Jones ran us off the field. Todd Gurley with arthritic knees and the other boy ran us off the field. The 49ers ran us off the field. So even if you're just even if you don't believe in that in totality about running the ball and stopping the run, those have really been the key issues with the Dallas Cowboys. Your offense was one-dimensional because you couldn't run the ball. It was all on Dak Prescott and the receivers. You couldn't stop the run, so your pass rush became non-existent. They didn't have to drop back and throw the ball to beat you. So, like, how can you think that that's not important for the Dallas Cowboys moving forward if you're trying to be competitive? Just think about how you lost and what you need to fix to win these upcoming games. You know what I'm saying? JD3 says Seahawks will win this year. We don't play the Seahawks this year, but you think the Seahawks will win their division this year over the 49ers? Where do you see the Seattle Seahawks finishing in the division? I want to know. He said, nah, I don't have Seahawks over Niners, but maybe. I mean, it is a divisional. They are in the same division. You never know. Divisional games are crazy sometimes, man. Now, I'm not really sure what move the Seahawks made to close the gap, but you know. Said Washington gets Ayuk and Dallas loses CD. They will finish third in the division, in my opinion. That's not a bad opinion to have. Brandon Ayuk is an all-pro wide receiver. Ceedee Lamb is an all-pro wide receiver. So if a team adds an all-pro wide receiver and another team loses an all-pro wide receiver, it definitely closes the gap. It definitely closes the gap. And CT, this is a two-part question. This is actually a two-part question. I'm glad that you asked it. Will Ceedee Lamb be ready week 1? Odds are he won't be healthy, 100% healthy week 1. It's just not realistic. But the question shouldn't be, will he be 100% healthy? The question will be, are they going to play him? Are they going to play him is the question. Because Terrence Steele wasn't 100% healthy last year, but he still started week 1. Tony Pollard was nowhere near 100% healthy last year, and his ass started week 1. Broke his leg in January, was the starting running back by September. You know that man wasn't healthy. So the question isn't, is he going to be ready week 1? He's not going to be ready week 1. But the question is, are they going to play him anyway? That's the question. He won't be ready week 1. The real question is, are they going to play him anyway? That man ain't gonna be completely healthy. But will the Dallas Cowboys do right by Trayvon Diggs? Will they let him sit and rest? Abe said, how did we lose against the Packers? The same way we lose against every team. The Packers utilized a high percentage of motion in their plays. The Dallas Cowboys struggled against motion. They ran the ball very efficiently. The Dallas Cowboys sucked as a run defense. They were a team with a winning record. The Dallas Cowboys allowed over 28 points per game against teams with winning records all last season. So yeah, like it was a bad matchup. And I said before we even knew we were going to play the Packers, I didn't want that matchup. I felt confident about every other team, but the Packers, shit, they had everything needed to beat the Dallas Cowboys. Then their quarterback was playing at a high level. Jordan Love had the second most passing touchdowns in the league. The only quarterback that threw more touchdowns last year was your quarterback. So Jordan Love was playing at a high level. Aaron Jones was back healthy. Dallas Cowboys struggled against the run. Dallas Cowboys struggled against motion, and they used a lot of that. It just didn't pan out. And then, of course, we were one-dimensional as well. So that's why we lost. Shout out to Mafia Best with another $5 super chat. He said, this will help our running game. Rico #1. Deuce has to switch it up. Back. Zeke short yards and goal line situations. You know what? I'm very curious to see how the hell that pans out, honestly. I really want to know, because we know it's going to be running back by committee, right? But I really want to know who gets the lion's share of the snaps. Because remember, I like Rico, but Rico can never stay healthy. He can never stay healthy. Ever. Even this year, when he played more games and played more snaps, he was hindered by a lower leg injury for multiple weeks, for multiple consecutive weeks, and he finally just gave up the ghost and had to sit out a game. So I like Rico. I think he got talent, but will his body hold up enough for the Dallas Cowboys to be able to trust him in a primary role like that? I just don't know if that will be the case. I just don't know. I hope so, but you never know. So listen, I'm finna get ready to talk about the week 1 schedule, right? Because we got a picture, we got a graphic. I like talking football. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna sit here and see who you think's gonna win. But before we do that, I'm going to play Dak Prescott's speech at the tight end U. He gave a little speech at tight end U. So I'm gonna play it, because I got to get up and do something real quick. I'll come back, talk about the video, talk about what I think him and Jake Ferguson will do, and then we'll talk about the week 1 schedule. So bear with me.
Running against the safety of the corner, how do I know to throw that ball? Unless you give me an indicator, that guy's going to beat you to the spot. So that's where that check is, right? When the deep over, all those things matter to me, right? I'm watching the defense, I'm watching the back. I'm not asking my eyes how there's some offenses that are, but you've got to learn that, right? You've got to grow to that, you've got to get that freedom. First and foremost, it's learning your quarterback. I know it's a tight end, y'all got an offense, every part of it. I would say I challenge you to the run game, right? Pass protection, all that. The next step is truly knowing what your quarterback's thinking when he's throwing the ball, because you guys are quarterback's best friend. We've got to throw the ball across the middle to right to take advantage of our matchups outside. If we're not on the same page as you, you don't have a shot. If you have a good tight end, you've got a chance to have 3. Appreciate you, man.
All right, and we're back. So Dak Prescott, notorious tight end level, went to tight end U. And yes, he worked out with some of the better tight ends in the National Football League. So my question to y'all, knowing what Dak Prescott said and what he believes about tight ends, and what he believes about tight ends, how well do you think Jake Ferguson will play? And Abe Jr., I will say this. Dak Prescott is a much better passer of the football right now than he was when he came into the league. We'll start with that. Secondly, Dak Prescott was like second in on-target throws last year. He also is 4th all-time in career completion percentage. So this is what I'm going to say about that. You can't really be inaccurate, and you're technically the 4th most accurate dude in NFL history. I know he hasn't finished his career up. I know there's a lot of things that help quarterbacks in the modern era. but he's literally 4th all time in career completion percentage. You know what I'm saying? He was literally top 2 in on target throws this year. So it's hard to say he's inaccurate right now. He might have been, listen, he was a run first quarterback in college. So of course he had to work on his mechanics. He had to get better. Because I think that happened like his second season with Carr, brother. Right? That throwing contest. But he's a very accurate quarterback now. But hey, Space Ricky, just to touch on that, he's already the number 2 receiver in Dallas by targets, by receptions. The only thing that he was not second on the team in was touchdowns. He said, Lamb and Cooks let the team down bad, but everyone blames Dak, and even Ferg didn't get it to the game till late. Yeah. So real quick, let's go through these week 1 matchups. Cause listen, y'all know I be sports betting and shit. So let's build a ticket real quick, man. And listen, I take straight up. It's already hard enough to predict in the NFL who the hell is going to win, especially early on in the season. Some teams don't have their shit together, right? So this first game, Steelers Falcons. Steelers at Falcons. Who you got winning that matchup? Boy, Rico, the bubble done popped for Hendershot, Rico. He was supposed to make the team last year. From everything I hear, he was not supposed to have made the team last year. If John Stevens had not gotten hurt, Peyton Hendershot would have been cut. He would have been cut. And you know what? This is going to be a very interesting matchup. Because one, I know people don't realize this, the Falcons have a top 10 passing defense. The Steelers will be implementing a new quarterback, regardless if it's Russell Wilson or if it's the other boy. They're both gonna be in a new system for the first time. It'll be their first game throwing to these receivers. And it'll be happening in Atlanta. My only question is going to be, is Kirk Cousins going to play? Is Kirk Cousins healthy enough to play? If Captain Kirk is healthy enough to start this game and play, I might take the Falcons. But if they gotta go with a rookie, with my boy Penix from Washington, I'll take the Steelers. So this is going to be a flip game for me. It's going to depend on which quarterback plays. Because I think the circumstances. I think normally the Steelers will win this game easily. But week 1, going to Atlanta, top 10 passing defense, new quarterback and a new offensive system, first time throwing the ball to these wide receivers in live game action. I don't know. I might. Fuck it. Listen, I'm taking the Falcons. I could be wrong, but I'm gonna take the Falcons. He said, just give Mafia Best the jersey. Man, Mafia Best been going crazy since he got in here, man. Let me read my boy, my new one. Mafia Bet said we going 11-6. Mark this comment, screenshot it. I had us going 12 and 5 again. I forget what I actually said. I gotta go back and look at the video. I had us going either 12 and 5 or 13 and 4. I forget. It works both ways too, though. I guess, right? They'll both have new quarterbacks. I'm gonna give the edge to the home team, though. If this game was in Pittsburgh, I would give it to the Steelers. I'm gonna go Falcons first. I'm gonna go Falcons. Now, the Tennessee Titans are going to beat the shit out of the Chicago Bears. And I think the Bears will be a fringe playoff team this year. I think the Bears will be pretty damn good this year down the stretch. But the Tennessee Titans have a pretty good defense. Their quarterback gonna be in year 2. They got weapons. They got Hopkins. They got Calvin Ridley. They got a lot on the offensive side of the ball if they can put it together. So I'm gonna take, and they got Tony Pollard, and they got Tajay Spears. They got everything. They got a run game. They got wide receivers. The quarterback should be more confident. Listen, the Bears got a crazy wide receiving room. They do. But didn't the Tennessee Titans just go and get one of the best cornerbacks in the National Football League? Isn't it going to be a rookie quarterback in his first start ever throwing the ball to those guys? So I think the Titans win week 1. I do think the Titans win week 1. Yeah. Oh, Chicago's going to be good. I just don't think week 1 they're going to get it. He said, side note, if I did win the jersey, which is not even why I super, Hen wouldn't have to ship it. That's Trill right there, Mafia Bets. He said Denver versus Seattle. You taking Denver? I am so conflicted with the Denver Broncos this year. And listen, I'm definitely always going to pick against the Washington Commanders. I'm definitely never going to pick the our arch rivals to win. I'm not picking them boys. I also do got the Texans winning myself. But it is going to be a divisional game. I'll take the Texans by a field goal. I'll take the Texans by a field goal. I do believe that the Colts will be decent. Because you got to think about it. The Colts missed the playoffs this year by like a half a game or some shit like that. I'm taking the Cowboys. Of course, right? But the reason I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys is because Deshaun Watson has been a literal turd for a very long time. Deshaun Watson has been a turd. Nick Chubb, even if he plays, it's not gonna be 100%. So yeah, I got the Dallas Cowboys in that game. If Nick Chubb was playing, I would probably, will have my questions about that matchup. But with Deshaun Watson playing the way he's been playing, Nick Chubb not being 100% or missing the game entirely, I'm gonna go with them. I'm gonna go with the Dallas Cowboys. Let's see what these other games. Let me run through these and wrap it up real quick. I'm gonna pick the Vikings over the Giants because fuck the Giants. That's pretty much my sum for that. Fuck the Giants. I'm gonna pick the Vikings. And listen, the Giants are missing entirely too much. Is Daniel Jones even going to be healthy enough to start? Is he going to be healthy enough to start week 1? Coming off of a knee injury that happened like mid season. And he's a running quarterback too. So you really can't rush Daniel Jones back from his injury. He relies on his athleticism a lot more than a standard pocket passer. So I don't know if he'll even be able to play that game. So I'm going to take the Vikings. Even though it's going to be over there, I am going to take them. I forgot that Jameis Winston was over there, bro. I think Deshaun Watson still starts over him. But that's crazy. All right, I'm going to take the Bengals over the Patriots for obvious reasons. For obvious reasons, I'm going to take the Bengals over the Patriots. I'm going to take, you know what's crazy? I'm going to take the Cardinals over the Bills. Because damn it, what the Bills going to do? Like the Bills wide receiving core got depleted. Their defense got depleted. Like who the hell is he even gonna be throwing the ball to? Like what's that team gonna do, man? What's that team gonna do? He said we beating the Browns, but Amari Cooper finna light us up. I think Amari Cooper's gonna have one big play, maybe. Deshaun Watson's gonna throw a couple of picks. The Dallas Cowboys are gonna win. They got Kincaid. They got tight ends. But Keon Coleman, a rookie. Cause listen, they lost Stephon Diggs, they lost Gabe Davis, they lost a majority of their veteran defensive backs. You know what I'm saying? So I take the Cardinals in this situation. Kyler Murray gonna be back 100%. They improved their wide receiving core. I'm gonna take them in this game. I'm gonna take them in this game. The Bills are always suspects. They're just gonna be a little bit more suspect this year. All right, let's see. Sunshine versus Tua. I'm gonna take the Dolphins at home. The Jaguars left a bad taste in my mouth with how they finished the season last year. They left a very bad taste in my mouth because how the hell do you go from being the fourth seed in the AFC to missing the playoffs entirely? Missed the playoffs entirely because they couldn't win their last game of the season. It's crazy, dog. Crazy. Let me see what this other one is right here. Oh yeah. You good, man? You good? It doesn't matter if the response is late, man. We appreciate you for chopping up with us, man. I think the Cardinals gonna be pretty decent, man. They got good receivers. Kyler Murray, when he's healthy, is a pretty decent quarterback. It's gonna really depend on defense and play calling. It's really gonna depend on the defense and the play calling. And then let me just run through these last two. I don't think that the Carolina Panthers got it together yet. They're going to be playing the Saints in the Superdome. That's going to be a hard game to win for a second-year quarterback. I'm gonna still take the Saints just out the strength of it. And man, I think you got to take the Chargers in this matchup. I think you got to take the Chargers. Now, I think the Chargers and the Raiders split. I think the Chargers win this home game. I think the Raiders win when the Chargers visit Vegas. But I'm gonna just take the home team in that matchup. So those are all the picks I got. Oh, and the Lions. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Lions over the Rams. The Lions are a more complete team right now. Gardner Minshew or Aiden Connell. Those are the two quarterbacks that the Raiders got. So, you know, if you got two quarterbacks, you ain't got a singular quarterback. So, you know. But, yeah, man. I appreciate y'all for taking time out y'all day to chop it up with me about sports. I got long-winded. But I enjoyed myself, man. I always have a good time rocking with y'all in the liquor store, man. But on the way out, man, y'all make sure that y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that share button. Make sure y'all hit that catch up or that super chat on the way out. Slap the shit out of the Eagles fans when you get your discount in the liquor store, man. He said, bro, I'm still upset at the Lions losing the playoffs. They had the 49ers right where they wanted them. Right where they wanted them. And they could not put them boys away. But, you know, I think the matchup was conducive. I can live with the Kansas City Chiefs. Winning another championship. I couldn't win with another NFC team coming out and winning. Y'all make sure that y'all go ahead and sub the Mafia bets as well. He said, I'll be streaming betting picks this year. He made over $17K on the Cowboy games alone last year, plus what I made on all the other games. So, hey, man, get in where you fit in and rock with the boy Mafia Bets NFL, man. And salute to my boy Space Ricky, too, man. I appreciate you. My boy said who's going to be the Monday night game. I think the Rams and the Lions were the Monday night game. No. Cause this looks like it's a. Let me Google that real quick before I close the show down. I am curious about that. Let me see. Full Monday Night Football schedule. Okay, week 1 is the Jets versus the 49ers for Monday Night Football. They got New York Jets and San Francisco 49ers as Monday Night Football. Or am I reading an old one? No, it says 2024 Monday Night Football schedule. Yeah, 49ers and the Jets. So that's Monday Night Football. All right. Yeah, Rodgers should be back for week 1. All good. But yeah, man, we out. Thank y'all for everything. Thank y'all for the love and support. Tap in with Mafia Bets if you're trying to learn how to make some money. And we will tap in with y'all on the flip side, man. Peace, God bless, and your boy is out.